Who's here? Oh my goodness. Usually I get some people. What's happening? Hey, how is everybody doing? Hi, 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 hi. Thank you so much for being here, for tapping in for today's live. Um, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're coming in from, where you are watching from. Hi, so happy to see you. Thank you for being here. Um, Today we are talking retreats. Hey, 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 hey. So if you had questions, if you were wondering how the retreat went last weekend, or if you've ever considered like coming on a retreat, but you had some questions, you have some reservations, you have like, I'm not sure about doing this and whatever. Hey, um, hey Laura, North Carolina. Hi. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you for sharing the live. Um, Hey, Gainesville. Oh, thank you. I washed it. That was what I did. I washed my hair like yesterday. And it was cold. Oh my God, it was cold yesterday. It was colder, I feel like, this morning. But tomorrow I plan to go to the beach, so it's fine. Hey, hey. How are you? How's Queens? Are you cold? Are you chilly? It was sweater weather for me today. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Erica. I am glowing. I'm trying to I guess get myself together. I'm just excited to talk to y'all. It's when I don't go live, I'm so sad about it. Queens are good. I'm glad. And I said that in my story. Like I was just like, oh my God, I'm so hyped to talk to y'all. I started talking about like, oh, tomorrow for Thick Thigh Thursday. And I was like, oh snap, it's tomorrow's Thick Thigh Thursday. So hey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. We missed last week because there was a hurricane coming right through here. Right, Florida's really trying to give us a fall winter season. They playing all these games. I'm trying to go to the beach again. Come on, get us together. Hey, thank you for being here. Hi. Hi, Brian. So right. So we're talking about retreats today. So like I was saying, last weekend was a hurricane, or last week was a hurricane, so I didn't go live. It was just too loud. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much for dropping those. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. So yeah, last week was a hurricane. Week before that, though, we were on our retreat right here in Orlando. It was such a good time. Like it was so fun. It was extremely entertaining. It was so like I don't know. It was nice to be here and not have to like do a whole lot of travel myself. So that's the first experience for me. All my retreats have been international, right? Hi. Right. So like this year we've gone to Bali, we've gone to Thailand, but like coming to Orlando was so great. It was just so simple. And I think that was like a major part of the beauty of the experience. All the women that came were fantastic, and really just wanted the experience of being here together. Hi. And wanted to do the yoga, wanted to try the things, wanted to go out. We had our matching bathing suits. If you saw us on our girls' night out, hopefully you saw that post. If you didn't, you can check it out. It's on my page. It was so much fun to create. And honestly, like it was just a great time. It's definitely opened the door for me as far as domestic retreats. I wasn't really like, I was just like, I want to go everywhere. What do you mean? But like, of what it's huge. It takes up a lot of space. We have a lot of things to offer. And then there were some things that came up that made a lot of sense when we were in this retreat. So I was like, all right, you know what? That's gonna help. I think me plan further, right? Help me plan and create new experiences for women. And that is exactly what I'm here to talk to you guys about tonight. So hey, thank you for being here. So usually on Thursdays, we talk about confidence. We talk about maybe yoga. Thank you. We talk about a lot of different things here, but they all pertain to what I do. And I wanted to talk to you about it. I posted, if you're following me on Instagram, you should definitely follow me on Instagram. But if you follow me on Instagram, you saw I put up a carousel. And I put a screenshot in there of when I started the transition out of my job. So I used to be a school teacher. I taught special ed high school math. And Absolutely. I loved my kids, but the politics are crazy. And I don't love the school situation, right? So thank you for the follow. Hi, hi. Um, so when I was transitioning out of the classroom, I knew I wanted to take my yoga teaching further and teach yoga retreats and have travel and have women experience different things with me. And I was so excited about it. But I had no idea where I was going. And literally, that was 2 years ago. And right now, this is my life, right? Like, this is what I do. This is what I do full time. Um, and part of that was what I had built before leaving my job. Like, I don't want you to think that that was a snap, right? It was what I built for years, working basically two full-time jobs. Working my full-time job at school and doing the things, and then also working on the side, building this. Um, in your opinion, what didn't you like about the school situation? So I I literally was on the phone with a old coworker of mine slash a real friend of mine, right? Since we still talk. And earlier today, and the politics there are a really big thing. Like when if the principal doesn't like you, if the assistant principal doesn't like you, then you don't get this, and you don't get treated this way, and favoritism, and then when it comes to the concept of children, like I was raised by my great grandmother, which I talk about all the time. She raised three generations of educators. So I really care about school. I really care about learning. I really care about teaching and giving people the experience that they need to have in a time, which is part of the reason why I left the classroom to do what I do. I feel like I can genuinely teach people in a space where they want to learn versus what we do in school nowadays. And we force children to learn certain things, especially like with the way they've changed curriculum. We're doing things that are not in like good cognitive reasoning. It's foolish. I don't like to do foolish things. I don't like to waste my time. I only I like to be able to show up for people that want to be there. I like to hold space for people that need that space held for them. And I don't appreciate the way that that is limited for me in the classroom. So I don't do it anymore. I have the degrees and like the way schools are right now, I could walk into the school around the corner and probably have a job by tomorrow. That's how the market is. I would also be being getting paid peanuts and not be able to have my time doing this. And honestly, that kind of brings me to a little bit of what I've got going on. So, in this process of sharing that I've now run my third retreat by myself, and then I have, like I said, transitioned out of my job from doing this. I have been able to create this space. Um, I know that there is a desire for the information of how to do this, right? How can we? Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Hype it up, right? Thank you so much. So, I want to create a resource, and honestly, at this point, I'm creating kind of several resources for it. But I've been working on this, and it's been my whole day, and it's been amazing. But creating an the first step for me is creating an ebook so that it can be a nice, like financially accessible space where people that want to get into this as a line of their career can do that at a very affordable rate. Because I've been business coaching for about a year now, wellness businesses. I've helped a couple people, and I love doing it, but I know that the price tag can be a little high. So I want to create that resource as a space for people to say, okay, I want to learn how to do this. This is where I get my feet down on the ground. Um, I agree with you. I pulled my son from the New York City public school system, and it breaks my heart. So many great teachers leave because of this. Yeah, yeah, it's hard. It's just not a viable thing. And like honestly, most lines of career at this point aren't viable. We are not. We're not being compensated enough. We're not being valued. We're not being treated with respect. It's rough, y'all. And you know it wherever you work. This is probably true. Like, this is, it kind of plays into it. But like, as teachers, we're such a viable resource. You need teachers to help the country run, and you treat us like shit. Make it make sense. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So, in this time, like I said, I've been creating this resource. Um, and the good question is, when and where is your next retreat? So I have an announcement. I will be two things here. I will be on the panel speaking at the Wealthy Sis Network Expo in Miami, January 18th and 19th. I'm super happy about that. I'm glad to be on their panel. I will also have a table at the expo so you can talk to me about what's going on and learning about like retreats and maybe it's wellness business practices if you're going to be there and that's your focus. So I'm excited to be there to talk to you guys. And then I'm putting together in the works is a retreat in the Miami area, just like we had here in Orlando last week. South Florida, the weekend after the 18th. Again, ironing the details out, but that will come out to you very soon. I'm planning it. I'm going to be there, so it's going to happen. I have been looking at places. I've been ironing out details. I don't have prices and a link for you to put down, so I can't. That's it. But what you can do is make sure you're on my retreat email list, right? There's a retreat email interest form that is in my links. So if you're here with me, if you're looking at me, you can find them. And obviously it's on thickthightyoga.com, as everything is on thickthightyoga.com. That's if you can read, you can find me. If you can click, you can find me. So yeah, the next one is going to be there. And then there's Cartagena. Cartagena happens in April. There are spots for week 2. Cartagena is, don't remember those dates off the top of my head, very end of April into May, April 20 something, if 26 maybe. If the dates sound like they could work, check it out on my website. Week 1 is already sold out. Week 1 sold out in the early bird stage. So that's Dubai. And this is part of the reason why I know that I'm meant to do this. Like I said, when I made my post about hosting my 3rd retreat, like the hype behind it was just honestly like, I'm really meant to do this. This happened so simply, so easily. Would you do a retreat on a cruise? We also have a retreat on a cruise planned for next September. So you can take a look at my website. We're going to Bermuda. Can I ask how your transition has been? That's exactly what we're talking about today. So, of course you can. So, as I got out of the classroom, and I was already working this, so I just need you to understand that, right? I was already doing this. I already had my feet on the ground once I stepped off of it. I'm not saying you have to work double as hard and to build it before you feel like you can leap off. If you feel like you can take the leap because of the foundations you have down wherever you are, beautiful. But make sure you trust those foundations. Because if you step out and then you waver, other people, like you said, your family questioning, your friends questioning it, people definitely ask me like, Stacia, are you sure? And I mean, I'm really sure at this point, right? I'm really, really sure. But it was questionable. It's a little like, I don't know. Can I do this? If you believe in it and putting in the work, you can definitely like actually get it done. And think about like the things that you've overcome already. It's a little rough. You can do this, right? Awesome. And then so the cruise is also leaving from New York City. So take a look at those dates. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I have a very small family. But my family the family that exists is proud of me, basically because again, we see that there's no future in the business that I was in, right? In education, there's no financially viable future that's going to take me to the place that I need to go in order to create any wealth for my family. And I know that, and that sucks that I have a master's degree. I'm beyond a master. I have 30 over my master's degree. I'm so credentialed and I don't care. Toss it all out the window. I can't say that. My teaching experience has absolutely made this easier, right? If I can teach 15 high special need children at the same time in a New York City classroom with somewhat limited resources and no air conditioning, I can do a lot of things. I can do a lot of things. It's rough. I can make it happen. So taking that space, taking the time to really practice it out, to work it out, to find what it is, the situation that I wanted to create, to build the process, to find the audience and understand who it is that actually responds, who wants to be here with me, who wants to take the leap and make the step. Because honestly, if you told anybody, like, hey, do you want to take a week-long trip with a bunch of girls and have fun? Hell yeah. Everybody wants this, right? But are you going to put in the work that goes along with that? And on my end, that's the planning. That's all the elements. And that's exactly what is talked about in more detail in this ebook. And there's going to be a webinar. So if you're waiting for the visual, don't worry, it's all coming. I'm just literally, it's getting down now. You can join my email list to make sure that you are getting that information as soon as you can, as fast as you can. Make sure you're subscribed everywhere. So you see the announcements, you hear the things. That's how you do this, right? Turn on the notifications for me right now. Make sure that you have them on, that you like, that you comment, that you participate. That's the way the internet, you bring me back here, right? That's how you get brought back here. And it helps me spread my message, right? So if you're thinking, you know what, I ain't never gonna go on a retreat. I'm not gonna spend the money. I'm not gonna do this. I can't do that. Fine. Can you share for me? For me. Can you share? Can you tell somebody? Can you put something that I've said or something that I've done in your story? And just that is how you support in this space. And I would appreciate it. So back to what I was saying, right? So we make this transition. I made the transition out of the classroom. I continued to teach at the gyms that I taught at in Queens. I continued to just do this and post and talk to people and make connections with brands, and there's a lot of elements that led into what has gotten me here to this space, but all of it is consistency. And I didn't really feel like I had a good roadmap. I took a class, I looked into some things, I did research, I tried to figure it out, but I feel like what I'm creating is a much better resource than that, especially because just honestly, the shape and the tone of social media and advertising and things like that have changed so drastically in the last few years. Yeah, something updated. And honestly, this is kind of resource that is going to update itself. I'm going to make sure of that because, like I said, I care about education and I care about actually teaching. So I want it to be valuable. I want it to be a valuable educational resource. So I wanted to clarify something that I feel like I don't know if it's been lost. I don't know if it's been lost. I think it's something that I have not specifically clarified in a while, so I want to do that. So I run retreats. I run wellness retreats and events and yoga classes. My yoga classes are online. I have an online library. I have a YouTube channel. These are for absolutely everybody. Everybody can come. Everybody can do the work. Everybody can buy a journal, right? I've got 3 now. Everybody can do these things. Everybody can participate in this way. This is the open field for absolutely anyone that is looking for a way to have access to Seisha, to Thick Thigh Yoga, to me, to what I teach, the way I teach, how I speak. If you want that access, YouTube is free to be free, right? Watch it. Again, please share to support. And get the information there. There are hours of like confidence face-to-face work like this, right? So if you wanted to hear that, if you wanted to go back through it, go watch. It's this, right? And I use these things as an offer of my personal services, my one-on-ones, my coaching, things like that. All of these things are examples, right? Of the way this works, especially if you actually dive in and you want to work with me. And like I said, those are for everybody. Those open spaces, the free spaces, the classes, those things are simple. If you feel like, especially if you feel like your body doesn't always feel welcome in yoga spaces, this is exactly why I'm here. This is how I got here, actually. When I started doing my yoga teacher training, I was looking for resources. I was looking for things to learn about, like how to do this pose better, or how it makes sense, like what the alignment is for my body. What am I supposed to do with my boobs when this happens? I can't do this because, and I was trying to figure it out. And then I realized once I had the knowledge, once I did my yoga teacher training, it's just that the visual resources don't exist because there's a few reasons. One, there were, especially at the time, a handful of years ago, less of us in these yoga spaces, in the studios, in the classrooms, in the trainings, whatever. And that kind of begat its own problem of having people that look like what you see when you hit #yoga, teaching other people who look like what you see when you hit #yoga, selling to other people who look like what you see. right? And then this continued repetition of nothing that looks like us, nothing that represents us, nothing that is useful for us, right? So I was like, this is useless. Um, yes, please share, please share. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for liking and sending and all the things. I appreciate you so much. Um, right, so these resources didn't exist. I wasn't finding them. I wasn't finding representation of bodies that look like mine, move like mine. The alignment cues weren't given in a way that I could respond to well, even though I was trained. Even though I was trained, like I was just like, what are they talking about? And then I realized that you just never took my body and anybody's body that looked like mine into consideration. To me, as again a master, like I have a master's in special education, I believe in access, I believe in use, I believe in making things useful for people that are trying to get it, and it's not built for them. Nothing in this world was built for me. Absolutely nothing. I had to do it myself, and I've been standing 10 toes down on it because of that reason. I had to build it. I had to create it in a way that it felt right for me. Now, there are a lot of people at this point in time, I could send you to a lot of resources. So especially like if you're a curvy girl and you're like, all right, I love following you for yoga. Who else can I follow? Send me a DM. I will send it to you. You can also always check my story. I'm always sharing like my girls, my people. You can follow Krista. You can follow Mel. You can follow Thick Girl Yoga LA. You can follow so many people. And like I said, just DM me. I'll send you a whole list. I got you. And a part of that is understanding what I present when I come online. And I have realized the audience that I have spans a lot of people. It spans a lot of different types of people. And I appreciate it. I am not kicking you out. We are all here for free on the internet publicly. So wherever we can be, awesome. When I hold space, though, when I come to hosting my retreats, they are meant for certain things. Linz, thank you so much, boo. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. When I run my retreats, when I hold that space, I want to be clear about who it's for. And I don't necessarily feel like I have bothered to make that statement. But I am a person that, in general, I allow the people to come to me, whoever feels like they should come to me. I want you to know that, I want you to feel like this is a safe space for you by what I present, and then you come in. That is how I teach. That is how I work. That is how I coach. That is how I do all of this, because I don't want to force that, right? Again, that forced education, that forced learning, that forced growth doesn't give you growth. It gives you frustration. It gives you hatred. It gives you, I'm going to quit. And I don't want you to quit. I don't want you to come to me and want to quit. I want you to come to me when you say, you know what, whatever Stacia's doing, I got to do it. I got to listen. I got to be there. Come. I want you here. That's just my style. That's always been my teaching style too, which again is why principals didn't like me. And it's whatever. Like, that's just what it is. I am fine with knowing where my strengths are. I live a pretty good life. It's fine. Hey. So what I'm saying by that is I'm going to be more clear. I think I want to be more declarative when I feel like spaces are meant for Black women. So my retreats and the way that I market them are going to shift a little bit. My retreats and my events, right? So as of right now, as I said, for Miami, I am planning for there to be a retreat in January. That information will be forthcoming, ideally within the next like week and a half, maybe by like next Monday. You'll know, not this Monday coming, right? But you will hear about that very soon. And when I run this retreat, this is a yoga retreat for Black and brown women. This is a retreat for women who are like women of color only. And this is the space that I'm going to create for them and cultivate for them and maintain for them. I also have plans for a Valentine's Day self-love retreat that is also, again, in the works, planning, forthcoming. That one is going to be for everybody. If you feel like well, for women, let me say that I just don't, I can do yoga with men. I don't feel like emotionally I hold the space for men with my work, right? Doesn't mean you can't come to a yoga class. I want you to be there, but that's really how this goes. Um, so I want you to understand that when I say that it's for everybody, I mean that it's for everybody. If you feel like a woman that is represented by me and my body, then, and you feel like you want to hear what I have to say, you want to get the yoga teaching from me, you want to get that consciousness from me, awesome. Please make sure that you sign up for my retreat interest form, right? So that you can say, I want it to be here. I want to do this. I want that. Great. I will take your votes into consideration every time because I want to serve my audience. Again, I want to make it useful. I want to make it make sense always. And in that, like I said, in that process, I'm going to be clear. I questioned it. I questioned when I decided to talk about this, like, do I feel like my Black female audience is going to feel unprotected by, or I should say, like I'm pandering to somebody else? And the thing is that in this, I feel like if I'm being more declarative, I'm being more protective, right? If I'm speaking on what it is that I'm doing at the time for real, no questions, then there's no questions. Then the information that comes out, right? So when I had my event in Thailand after the retreat in Bali, right? I did that event in Thailand with my friend, the therapist, and we had our nice, beautiful, like yoga, yoga session and conversation and women's circle. It was so nice. And then I ran into somebody there, another yoga teacher who was, she was like, I'm such a big fan of yours. Oh my God, I can't believe you're here in Phuket. We took a picture together and she said, I wasn't sure if the space was for me. She's a white woman. She's from Australia. She's like, I wasn't really sure if the space was for me. So I decided not to. Honestly, if you're the woman that's going to question it, if you're the white woman that's going to question it, like, am I going to be impactful in this space with the Black people? I appreciate you so much. I appreciate that you had that thought. And let me tell you, one, when it's for Black people, right, you're right on, sis. Don't show up. And and this is why I'm saying I want to be clear about it now. When I say an event is open, then it is open. And I want you there because you're the thoughtful person. You're the person that considers the way you impact space. That's going to be important for holding the space that we do want to cultivate, that we do want to maintain. So I plan to be a little bit more declarative, a little bit more clear, a little bit more open, right? And I hope that what I'm saying, like, please let me know. Let me know if it's making sense. You can drop your thumbs up, your hearts, whatever it is, right? Because I don't want you to feel like I'm not creating a space for you when I actually fully am, right? Thank you so much for the gifts, Rixie. Ooh, Rixie, that's a cool name. I like it. So when you, I met my live goal on TikTok, y'all. Yay. Go TikTok. I've had a lot of people on the TikTok live also for a while. So I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Yes, I make sense. Awesome. I'm glad I make sense because I want, like I said, I didn't, in the yoga space specifically, I didn't necessarily make it for Black people. I made it for thick-thighed people, curvy people, plus-size people, people that don't have the same, like I said, representation. And it's not, you can't just pop on YouTube and find so much for yourself and for your body. Hey, Chrissy, I always try to catch when you're on. Thank you for being here. It's Thick Thigh Thursday. It's every Thursday, 6 p.m. Set your reminders, set your notifications, put them on, make sure you can be here. I'm always live on YouTube. I'm always live on Instagram. I'm always live on TikTok, unless I specifically have a guest. So make sure that you have your story notifications on too, because I always let people know. And then if you are in my stories, you can always drop your questions, right? So the very first question that I had at Instagram, which funny enough, somebody else asked on TikTok in the live is, what was your process? How did you get into running retreats? And we talked about it. That's what we can do. If you participate, I can help you. You can help me. It's awesome. I found you on Instagram. You were the best. Don't ever stop. You are most definitely consistent. Thank you. You make sense. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that when I talk to y'all talk to me too. And if you are a person that happens to follow me for like content creation stuff, because I've been doing this for a while, there were some lives with no people. I need you to understand that. There were some lives with no people. There were some retreats that I have posted that nobody registered for a week, 2 weeks, something. Okay, so it doesn't all work like this. And I'm just saying that this is a space you really do have to be consistent about. And I appreciate you being here with me every time, anytime. um I miss you in class too. And that was something that I didn't realize. Like, so I had the very good fortune, and I will tell you guys this about my story. I had the very, very, very good fortune to have um started teaching yoga in my neighborhood where I grew up, right? I started with a couple classes at a couple gyms. I taught at the Crunch, I taught at the Retro Fitness. We had a hard time. We had to wait months for the Retro to open up. Crunch, again, same thing, delayed. That's a New York paperwork thing, but still, I got to teach in Jamaica, Queens. I got to teach in Southside, where I grew up, around the corner from my elementary school, like literally between my elementary school and my middle school. And I wish there was somebody serving that area in the time that I was growing up. I feel like my childhood could have been very different. The way I grew up, the way people around me experience things and process their emotions, and it's a very heavily Black, brown, Caribbean neighborhood, right? Like I'm from Southside. Like, believe the rap songs to a degree. Like, that's just what it is. And I know that, and I accept that that's a thing, but I would have loved, I think, right, being able to have that as something that we tapped into 30 years ago or whatever. And the thing is that we can't go back in time. But all I can say is that I had the honor and the privilege of being able to teach yoga in Southside with my people, with people that look like me, with people that felt represented by my body. Oh my God. And that Crunch class, is anybody here from Crunch? That class used to be packed. We're talking 30, 40 minutes. It was amazing. But the retro class, right, that you were in, I'm still in contact with so many of these people because they also got the introduction to yoga by somebody that looks like them, that they felt represented by, that they could work with. And that's why I'm here. I got to have those conversations. People were saying it to me out loud, right? So it's a funny thing that, like, people say all the time, like, oh, how can you deal with the comments on the internet and people saying stuff and this and the other? I've been fat my whole life. The things people have said to me in person are horrendous. I can deal with this. This is nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is easy. The things that people have said to me in real life, in person, growing up in New York City, in the city, nah, just it's fine. I'm good. Anybody say anything on the internet, don't matter. It's not a big deal. People have threatened my life. People have showed up, not showed up, but people have texted me to my business number, threatening things, horrible things, whatever. I've been through worse. And I don't mean, I'm not trying to invite it, right? I'm not trying to invite it. I'm just saying it out loud so you know, like, this is not easy, but this is what I love doing. And so if that's a consequence, that's a consequence. Whatever. I literally went to retro just for your classes. And you're not the only person to say that to me. Right, 8 days a week, all the time. It's all the time. It's fine. So yeah. And if you are a person that's looking to take my classes and you don't know, and you don't feel like you can make it to a retreat, I do teach one-on-ones still online. My schedule has a couple days open. I have before work schedule stuff. I have a couple clients that I see before work. I have a couple clients that I see after work. I don't have a lot of people. I don't have a lot of spaces on my schedule for individual sessions. But I do it. Right. So if it's something you feel like you want, something you want to really get into, you want to use it to be a jumpstart to your yoga journey, to whatever, then absolutely do it. Yoga helps you, definitely helps you deal with the dumb people and what they say. Listen, you can say that again. Okay. Yoga absolutely helps you deal with the dumb people and the things that they say. And like also it helps you not judge people as hard, right? So it's not necessarily like, oh, I feel like you're so dumb. People that are just being jerks, of course, whatever, they can have that. But to just be able to reset myself, take a nice deep breath, get thank you. Um to get more grounded into myself whenever I feel like it, over here wilding out, is valuable. Again, I feel like if yoga was being taught in my neighborhood when I was growing up, parents would have handled things differently. Children could handle things differently. I love that yoga is being taught in schools. If I wanted to go back to the classroom, that's what the way I would pursue it. But I don't. I don't. Um, However, I do see the impacts, and I see it in, like I said, in children, in the families that I know, in the children of my friends and their experiences, and the way altogether we have, I guess, embraced more wellness in the world. Wellness is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. And that doesn't have to be yoga. And so that's kind of what I also want people to understand here, right? Even though I teach yoga and I did that, like that may not be your version of a physical practice that works for you. That may not be the right thing for you, but there's a way for you. There's something for you to do that helps you tap into yourself. Do I believe everybody can do yoga, especially a version of yoga, depending on what you want to do? Absolutely. I fully believe that. You don't have to believe me. We can chat about it. That's fine. Um, there is some version that is possible for you. However, I do feel like no matter what, if it's not the physical of yoga, meditation, it's, there's meditation, there's like yin yoga is a lot slower, there's hot yoga that's a lot faster. There's a lot of things, right, that you could do. There's a lot of aspects to this that people usually try one that their friend does and they hate it. And then they're like, it's not for me. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And then the same thing with trying it with a teacher that has no idea how to work with your body. The more likely the if you're in a situation like that, the more likely you are to get hurt, right? To be pushed too far, to be hurt by what they ask you to do, or to be confused just in general because they're not giving instructions that make sense in your mind and to your body. I will also say this: your first one or two yoga classes, none of the instructions are going to make sense. You're trying to figure out where to put your feet and your hands, and it's all, do I this and right? And anybody can vouch for me here, right? That it's just the first couple of classes. You might be like, huh? What did you say? Because I definitely remember my yoga teacher, yeah. My yoga teacher being like, spine straight, like trying to tell me to straighten my head and look one way. And I was dead ass looking at her like this. She was like, look down. I was like, oh yeah. And and that's just how it goes. You figure it out. You have to try it. You have to do it. I'm sorry that this isn't something that you could just pick up necessarily and do amazingly at. And that's okay, because there's no tests. There's no schooling. There's no grades. You just have to try. Try it. And I swear, 3 classes. I know that that feels like a big commitment of time. 3 classes, you'll feel like you know something. You'll feel like you know where to do, where to go, where to put your hands. You'll have a far better idea, even if you feel like that last class was crazy. Because then you have the time to process. Your brain processes it. Your body gets stronger and heals from what you did. And is like, oh, wait, no, that feels familiar now. I know what to do now. That's it. That's how it works. That's how it grows. It's learning. Your body is learning things, and your body is a lot smarter than your brain in one way. That simple things will add up, right? Because we can think about something and get it wrong 45 times, but our bodies, if we're doing it right, by the 3rd, 4th time, we're going to do it right. We're going to hold this space. We're going to remember this. Our muscle memory it works. It's simpler. It doesn't need to process the way we need to process, right? Your feet aren't going to make the same dumb decision that your head is 5 times. That's just how this works. Sorry, not sorry. I'm right. That's how that is. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. That's weird. Gotta put that on the list of words that don't show up. All right. So, and I wanted to give you, that was part of the purpose here, right? I've been talking about how, thank you, how I got into retreats and what I do and who my retreats are for, right? And I want to give you a quick rundown about the Orlando retreat. So, our Orlando retreat. So it was Women's Wellness Weekend. Soulful Serenity was the theme, and the design of everything was like this. The confidence journal was also a gift that the girls got in their gift bag, and I wanted to really expand on that and really dive into the merchandising this one. So they got matching bathing suits. We all have our matching suits, so we took pictures at the springs and all the stuff. It was really cute. You can see those pictures and those videos on my Instagram, my TikTok, on YouTube too, I think. So the girls came in, and the girls came in. We had a nice welcome dinner. We had a toast, and we had a light evening intro yoga, a little bit of rolling around, a little bit of loosening up from travel, and then we went to. Then we no, we didn't go to bed. We chatted. We talked for literally hours, even though people were tired from travel, because that's what it is. You just come in, and everybody feels good about it. Everybody feels good about being in this space. Then we finally went to bed, got some rest. We got up nice early and went to the springs. I love the springs. If you've seen my videos from the springs, because I've posted multiple, they're just gorgeous. If you have a chance to come down to Florida, and there's springs other places, but if you have a chance to come down to Florida and see the springs, we went to Rock Springs, Kelly Park. It was a great time. It was really nice. It was it's nice to go now when it's like off season versus the summer when kids are out of school and all that stuff. It was super chill to start the day. We had a pavilion. We sat down. We got our lunch. We did I put the tarp down. We did yoga out there. So if you've seen those pictures, you saw them already, check them out. If you haven't, check them out on my Instagram. And we took that time. We did a flow outside. We got the trees, the nature. We got a little protection from the dirt with the tarp. And we had a flow there. I got to adjust people. I love touching and pressing down on people and giving them twists and opening and releasing what they've got going on. I love being that support. And I can't do that in virtual sessions. I just can't do that online. There's nothing I can do about that. So I love having the opportunity in my yoga retreats and in my live classes to do that. After we did our yoga and we settled down from having our snacks and stuff, we went it was very helpful. We went down to do tubing. It has a natural lazy river situation happening. It's a little cold. It is 72 degrees year round, so it's brisk on the cheeks when you sit down in the tube. But it is a great experience. It's fun. And then you float down and it's so lovely. There are videos of that. There are pictures of that. I would love for you to check those out too. And tomorrow, starting tomorrow, the retreat testimonials will be released. So you'll see more of those videos. You'll see more of those experiences, and you get a better idea of like how that actually went from like an attendee POV type of situation, right? And so we did that. We did the springs. It was the first time for a lot of girls. And really, it's the first time at a retreat for a lot of the girls, right? So of the 8 people that we had there, 5 of them, it was their very first retreat. 2 of them, it was their at least second retreat with me. So I've got people that have come back, that are seasoned, that have been there for a while. And then I've got people that are brand new, found me and said, yeah, I need to do this. And it's for everybody. We did the springs. We had a nice trip home, shower, relax, nap time, lunch, super chill, and then dinner. Came to the house. We had it family style, and we're just chilling. We're hanging out. In between those times, people took a little trip over to the coffee shop around the corner, had a little bit more chatty girls time, because they just wanted to. They wanted to go and do it. Great. They had the freedom to do that because I built in some extra time. That is what I've learned, that people really need some time to relax. Some people took naps. I took a nap. So the option to relax for real. Like I said, then we had dinner and we just hung out. We ended up getting to the pool and chatting and talking and just hanging out. The next day, we got up a little bit later. We had meditation and a journaling session. And then activities. We went out to Disney Springs. We had a little scavenger hunt challenge situation happen. Some of the girls had a good time doing that, helping each other / competing with each other. um, and just exploring Disney Springs. If you haven't been here, it's a cute place to be. If you have been here, it's still a cute place to be. If you ever want to feel like a teenager walking around at the mall, like if that's a nostalgic feeling for you, Disney Springs is like the ultimate version of that. You can get all the snacks, all the treats, all the craziness, and then do all the walking and see all the stuff. There's stuff to take pictures of, and it's free to enter, free to park. Like, it's a great space, in my opinion, if you wanted to go. So if you needed something that didn't cost you a whole lot coming down to the Orlando area, that's a great activity to do. And like I said, we got our snacks, we got our little drinks, we walked around, we took some pictures, we did some cute things. Then we went back. Some people stayed, some people did not go. They took a nap that day too. Some people, the people who did the day pass, there was only one girl who did a day pass here. She did not choose to go because she's from here. So she said, you know what? This is a good nap time. You're right. Let's come back later. Right. And that's cool too. And we had that evening. Was that Friday? No, that was Saturday. That evening, we had our evening yoga session. We got it together, and then we changed for our night out. If you see our girls' night out video, you saw how cute everybody was with the transitions. They tried it. We did it. Everybody was cute. They put their little show on. And then, we had our night out. We had a beautiful dinner. Everybody enjoyed. We had like a mixed tapas situation with drinks and pictures, and then we hung out. If you see those Ferris wheel pictures, it was that night, right? And so we had a really great time. It's the retreats. It's a girls' trip, and you don't even have to bring the girls. You don't have to worry about the group chat making it out the the trip making it out the group chat. We got it. It's happening. It's gonna happen. We're here. We're enjoying ourselves. Hi, right? We you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to get your other friends to join on. You don't have to find the right people. I find the right people. And honestly and truly, the right people find me. The right people find me. The right people come to these retreats. The right people who want to be there and actually want to show up. And I think that that's just because I be calling people on ABS, right? What was a good question? The question is, what am I mixed with? My father is Black, my mother is Chinese. I know neither one of them very well. So, yeah. So those girls trip retreats, this is what it is, right? Oh, thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Big Mac, for the gift. So when I run these retreats, when I have these things, it's just a group of girls. It's the right women. I've had multiple participants say this, and everybody at the end of every retreat is always like, okay, so this group of girls, us, let's do this again in another location. Let's do this. Let's maintain this. Let's get it in. And honestly, I always say, well, buy up the seats. Don't let anybody else in. I'm fine with it. And this is quite literally how Bali week 2 happened, how Cartagena week 2 is set up, right? Because the week 1 sold. The people that came before said, I need to be on this again. I need to take this trip. I need to have this experience. And I love that I was able to provide that for them. So again, after we had our girls' night out, we took our pictures. Some girls took the little train around around Icon Park. All of it was really cute. And from there, Sunday morning, we have our final yoga session. We have some conversation. There are some very weepy videos of us. So understand that if you're a person, you're like, I don't know. If you don't know, then you don't know. Maybe you won't cry. Maybe it's not a big deal. If you are going to be angry for crying with us, don't come. Just don't. It's okay. You weren't meant to be there. That's cool. But if you're willing to be open, if you're willing to learn a little bit more about yourself, if you're willing to spend this time with women that also have this like-minded space and want to be supported and are willing to also cultivate a safe space with you, you're going to be in the right place. And that's just how this works. I I call people on their BS all day, every day. So like the annoying people, the person that's gonna be catty, the person that they don't want to fuck with me. That's it. And like, and I do this with this smile on my face, with this personality. This is who I am because I will call you out still with a smile on my face. You're not gonna harsh what I have going on. I'm not gonna let you change my energy. I'm not gonna let you change the way this works. And I'm gonna do it. So the retreats are different price points. It depends on where we go. It depends on how long it is, things like that, right? But you can check them all out. What I have up right now, like I said, is for Cartagena only. And then no, I have Cartagena up, and I have the cruise to Bermuda up. So please make sure you check out those things. If you are interested and you're not sure about those being the ones you want to go to, make sure you fill out the retreat interest form that is also available on my website, thickthightyoga.com. I don't hide, right? If you said you were looking for me and you looked for my YouTube, no, you didn't. Thick Thigh Yoga. Right? And I'm just saying, if you want to find me, I can be found. All right, I'm gonna bring this to a close, but I want you to remember that you can find me at thickthightyoga.com. If you want private yoga sessions, we can do that. If you want to come to a retreat, we can do that. If you want to go to a new place that I haven't said yet, please put it on the retreat interest, fill out the retreat interest form so you can fill out what you want here. Where are you requesting things? I've got a couple requests for Texas. Please be more specific so I can really plan something there, because I'm already planning to be in Texas for a couple weeks in the coming year. So if I can make it make sense, I'll put it in there, right? I want to plan it. I want to make it happen. I want to create the spaces in new places for you, with us, having like such a good ass time. That's what I want. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. You are the best. I believe that because you're here with me. That's how I feel. Okay. All right. I am going to drop this. This is about to go live on my YouTube page, right? So if you had any questions, if you missed something and you want to come back for the replay, go watch the replay on YouTube. It is there. The replays of my other Thick Thigh Thursdays are there. If you want to have more confidence conversations, if you want to learn more about yoga, I have a beginner yoga playlist that has beginner yoga sessions, starts with butt on the floor. And if that's, oh, well, how you expect to get to the floor? Put your butt in your bed then. Put your laptop on the counter. You come to somebody else with excuses, okay? I don't need them. But you can check that out on YouTube. You can check out my replays there. You can always DM me, ask me questions. I would love to talk to you. And if there's, right, the excuses. And if there's anything else you need from me, please let me know what you feel like this would serve the audience, right? And this is how this live happened. People asked me questions. People said, so are your retreats for these people? I don't want to impose. I just want to know. And that made me say, you know what? Let's flesh it all out. I love being clear with you guys. I love being able to create certain examples and explanations for you. And I have no plans of stopping. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you soon. Feel free to